Okay, and we are live. The big board says we are live. Just a tiny, slightly bit late because I had a weird happenstance in the kitchen just before going live. Went to get my drink and there was this huge friggin' pool of goop on the table because I'd been to the supermarket and with Mrs. Angry and a rockmelon we'd gotten was rotten, and she didn't realize that it left this big pool of goop on the table, but it had. So that's that. So and we are. I've got to change that little thing because we are Sons AIDSy tonight. So it's like I will just expunge him. I will Soviet style expunge him. Now, what else did I want to change? I wanted to change that. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. I'm going to drink. Coconut drink. No. Oh, yeah, that's okay. Hello, Miss Foxification. How are you this fine evening? Just getting set up and ready to rock and roll. And hello there, Luke. I had a perfectly agreeable and relaxed Christmas, and I hope everything went well for you all as well. It can be stressful as all hell, quite honestly, the whole Christmas thing. Supposedly the happiest time of the year can very, very, very easily be the worst time of the year for people. It can be very stressful, and there's a whole bunch of really valid reasons that people can have a really shit time at Christmas. I sound subdued, do I, Miss Foxification? I gotta get warmed up. I've just been chilling out, so I guess there's a fair chance that my energy levels are a little low. So, and you're thinking of doing a little gaming? Why not, indeed? Mrs. Angry is well into Witcher 3 at the moment. She's become quite the gamer in the last couple of months. Not sure what she's going to play when she finishes Witcher. I did get her Spider-Man for the PS4 because I thought she might like that. Not sure if she has anything else lined up. But yeah, that's she likes the same sorts of games as me, the open world explory games. We both got well into Zelda Breath of the Wild. I also like the ones that are a bit more shooty. I really enjoy Grand Theft Auto 5 and Yakuza 0 and Mafia 3. And just straight up shooter, I've got Borderlands 3 that I've played a little bit of. Want to get more into. Luke AIDSy won't be on this stream. He said he had. I messaged him earlier, and he said he had no functional internet. So we are Sans AIDSy. Miss Foxification set up RetroArch, which plays retro games. There you go. Okay, download the emulators. Nice playing all the retro games. It's good to get a bit of diversity, I think, in the games. But it's down to each one. My offspring love the collaborative online gaming, which I don't really do. Okay, Luke, you've been doing GTA Online. I did see someone playing it on Twitch. Yes, I saw the snow. Neat little feature for a city that, I don't know, seemed to be based on, I don't know, it was more like Los Angeles or San Francisco. But it seemed very West Coast, that city, which to me is like LA or San Francisco, places that don't get a lot of snow. So coastal places don't get a lot of snow unless you're at quite extreme latitudes. I don't know why that is. Scientist or a meteorologist might be able to explain that. Might be able to explain whether I'm right or wrong. In fact, they might say, you're an idiot and you don't know what you're talking about, because to be fair on this topic, I don't know what I'm talking about. Hey, Justin, how are you going? This Foxification, you're like an online blockbuster browsing hundreds of games for Retroville. It's a little while since I've played any retro games. I mean, like, you can get them on smartphone. I've got like my iPhone, and there are obviously a lot of retro games for that, because I think that actually suits it, because the lower quality graphics don't matter as much on a small screen. Actually, saying I haven't played it, I did. There's the old airplane shooty game 1941, which I remember playing in actual arcades in my youth, and I was playing that on the iPhone. It's okay for wasting a couple minutes on. Justin, you're going to back me up on the coastal thing. Ocean currents having a big part in regional climates. I mean, that makes sense. And this is also why one of the there are different currents around the world that sorry, I have a minor problem with ants. It's only minor, but it's noticeable. And I was just, a couple of them were walking across my desk and I squished them. Yes, there's those currents, and there is a possible weird weather thing. They used it as a plot device in that incredibly silly film The Day After, the Jake Gyllenhaal, the weather disaster movie, and it is apparently not completely impossible. It's just unlikely but there's a particular current. If it changed direction, which is a thing that could happen, it would bring all this freezing weather with it, like literally freezing. Not to the extent in that silly movie, and it's not very likely to happen, but it's possible, because there are lots of things that are well out of our control. I think the main thing that's worried is that waters that are meant to be cold aren't, because of global warming, and that accelerates the rate of change, which is not good. I was hoping this Fox question. So air temperatures affected by bodies of water. So situations where temperature is freezing but the sea isn't frozen will keep coastal temperatures higher. There you go. That means that less snow and faster melty snow compared to that makes sense. I do like, was it Chicago, I think, that has that big lake, and it gets so cold there the lake freezes. But the lake's so big, it actually has currents. There are swirls. And so you get this really amazing visuals of the surface of the lake starts to freeze, but then the currents actually move it and the ice breaks up and moves. And so you get these really amazing patterns. I might be able to find a picture or two of it. See if I can get a picture that illustrates what I'm talking about. Yeah, let me. I found what I'm talking about. Oh, okay. No, this is, now I see the picture. This isn't what I was talking about, but it's interesting. I'll do a share screen so you can see it. This is Lake Michigan, I think, in Chicago, and where is it? There. That's trees where wind has blown the water up, but then it's so cold the water landing on the trees has frozen, and the trees are all weighed down with ice. So it looks like Elsa from Frozen has been added. I want to see if I can okay, here's one. See if we can see this larger. It's not that large, but you see it's freezing and then it's cracking, and it looks quite weird and apocalyptic. But I've seen is this no, that's frozen trees again. Oh, this is a weird one. They call this pancake ice, apparently. No, that's not that one. This one, those little circles are called pancake ice. Sweet, but I've seen some really dramatic one. Oh, this is the one this is the one I was thinking of. This is the one. Where are we? Again, it's not a huge picture, but you can see the little sheets of ice, and it shatters and moves. I find that fascinating. Basically, that's just me. Oh, look, what a sad thing, Luke. I didn't make a YouTube rewind. And Mofo Zion, how are you doing, my friend? You got some solar lights. All right, as a Chrissy Prezi, that's nice. Okay, what's that misclassification? Lake Baikal. Okay, I'm going to look that up while we're on the image search. Lake Baikal Frozen. There you go. It auto completes to Lake Baikal Frozen. Oh, this is the one where methane bubbles freeze. See if I can just get large pictures size. I don't want to see large pictures. I have seen this. This is really trippy. Right, yeah. Those are methane bubbles that froze in the ice. That's wild. It's apparently just super crystal clear, this lake. So it just looks amazing. It looks very otherworldly. That was probably not as impressive. Oh, good. Someone's got a YouTube video where they walk across the frozen lake, which is, of course, at least mildly dangerous because you might die. What's that one? This is a rock on the lake. I'm going to try and... I think I wasn't sharing. And I thought I was sharing. There we go. This one, there's a rock. Or is that a frozen? I can't tell what that is. If that's water or ice. There's a picture of the guy who walked across the ice. It looks less like a there, but because of his hat, it looks like a penis. But this one's like it froze in like waves. Yes, well, in short, the world's a pretty amazing place. I'll close all those tabs, and then we go. So yeah, it's a funny old place, the world that we live in. I was thinking of having a bit of a talk, something I might record for podcast. And this is a slightly strange thing. I've never done a podcast episode where it's just me. I've always had someone else on it. And I mean, largely, I think that it's more interesting to have multiple people. Mind you, one of my favorite podcast is the Blind Boy podcast. Blind Boy Boat Club from the Rubber Bandits, and that's just him. Although he has some interview ones, sometimes studio interviews, pre-recorded interviews. So he, like many of the podcasters, does live podcasts, and when he does live ones, he has someone with him that he interviews. He's a good interviewer. He's got a very inquiring mind. But most of his podcasts are just him talking, doing his hot takes, as he says. And he's very well read, and he comes up with very interesting ideas. He is somewhat prone to make very big leaps, and sometimes he seems to believe things that I don't think are completely plausible. But it's more fun listening to people if you don't always agree with everything they say, because it keeps your mind questioning. I think we should always be questioning. I was going to say cynical. Cynical is the wrong word. Skeptical is a better word. And even, God, but the word skeptical has been debased and abused by horrible, bloody right-wingers and their version of being skeptical is just being a dickhead to everyone, just being an absolutely awful person. Absolutely awful person. And I do not have a lot of time for that. Like I never make secrets about my feelings on things, like religion and whatnot, but I'm not going to go out of my way to attack someone for their religious beliefs, so long as A, they're keeping out of my face, and B, they're not using it to justify an attack on someone else, which they all too often are. So, yes, the people who don't want me to really abuse them, they kind of learn to not get in my face. I like that misfoxification. They're septic skeptics. And we don't mean the Australian slang for Americans, septic tanks, yanks. Yes, as in they are vile and polluted. I do not like them, Sam, I am. They're not good at all. So, and it's the whole thing. Like every now and then, I get surprised by some women who say they aren't feminists, because I look at them and what they're doing and their independence and their strength, and why would you say you're not a feminist when A, you're benefiting from feminism, and B, from my perspective, you're embodying a lot of the ideals of feminism. And then more often than not, it's a personal thing. They will tell me direct stories about women who identify as feminists who treated them like shit, often repeatedly. Like one good example is sex workers, the people that I've interacted with on the internet. Most of them are very strongly identifying as feminist, but a few will very loudly tell you their rather low opinion of feminists, and it's because they've been treated like shit repeatedly by women who identify as feminists. So it's actually not all that surprising. It's the same thing, like by any rational measurement, I'm an atheist, but I've made a point of not being a militant atheist, and certainly not identifying with the militant atheists who rose to prominence, certainly in the last 10 years on the internet, because that whole movement is absolutely dominated by fuckwits. And I don't mean by stupid people. Most of them are quite smart. It's just that they're shitheads. It's just that they're horrible, judgmental people, and I don't want anything to do with them. I certainly don't want to be identified as being the same as them, because they're fucking awful. And that's up to and including Richard Dawkins, who is definitely very intelligent. He falls into the trap that a lot of intelligent people fall into, that they think they can extend their expertise into areas that they are quite ignorant of, and they end up looking stupid. And so I want nothing to do with that movement. PBR, silver lights on, drop in. Nice. Yes, Mr. Succession, I think Gamergate was dominated by these fuckheads who were all part of that skeptical new atheist movement, and absolutely blind to how fucking vile and just straight up stupid. Like, Dawkins is responsible for spouting some really, really stupid anti-women shit. Not even anti-feminist, just anti-women. He's incredibly ignorant about the danger women are constantly in from assault. And he just has repeatedly said frustratingly stupid, ignorant things. I said, Justin, if you judge a person by how many times they've been divorced, Dawkins been divorced 4 or 5 times. I didn't know that. I don't look that much into his personal life. But yes, I think if someone gets divorced that many times, I'm not sure if they admit to being the problem, but you see the common denominator in all those divorces is that one person. That's not conclusive, but it's worth considering. Nintendo Lunchbox, hello to you. Early on the morning of the 26th for you. Yeah, I figured it's post-Christmas for everyone now. It's late enough, it's post-Christmas. So, I think most people need a wind down post-Christmas. I don't know if this is not like you're saying the little monologue I wanted to do and use for the podcast. It's very negative. It's very bleak. And yeah, I don't know if this is the time of the year to do it. It's pretty dark. The thoughts I had on this thing are pretty goddamn dark. And yeah, I don't know. This can be a difficult time of year for people anyway. Maybe I shouldn't go on about this really dark topic right now. Maybe I should save it. Is that Koju? Oh, yeah, okay. You were following The Amazing Atheist. Yes. Yeah, he seemed okay. And then he just turned into a complete asshole. And again, it's like the ones who pretend that their anti-Muslim bigotry is just about, no, I'm against all religion. And it's like, no, you're super, super, super bigoted towards Muslims, and you are saying stuff that's fucking indistinguishable from the white supremacists. Oh my God, has anyone else seen, it's not the Amazing Atheist, but a couple, I've now seen at least 2 of them, people who were fairly high profile in that skeptic movement, who just mutated. The first thing they did was mutate into really ugly anti-women stuff. They said anti-feminist, but it's just really gross anti-women stuff. And yeah, then they were getting very, very obnoxiously bigoted anti-Muslim. At least 2 of them have come out and said they're embracing Christianity now, because they've basically become white supremacists. They just became these hideous ultra-right anti-feminist, anti-Muslim, and they just mutated into fucking indistinguishable from the neo-Nazis, and they started to embrace Christianity. I don't think it was Sam Harris. If I do a search on I spelt that's off to a bad start. Atheists who embraced Christianity. I'll see if they come up. Oh, Wikipedia actually has a list of former atheists and converts to Christians. Okay, I'm going to see if any of these names. Peter Christopher Hitchens' brother. Okay, cool. Now, see, these people might not be important enough to get on a list like this because they're just like internet loudmouths. Yeah, they, as I say, these people are probably not important enough to be on a list like that. But they're just, YouTube loudmouths. I even forget their names, but yes, Justin, this is the thing with time of year where family arguments happen over Christmas. So I did see a funny post online, someone saying, "Thanks, Scott Morrison. Because of you, this was the first Christmas without any family arguments. We all agree you're an asshole." That's brilliant. Dottie, I think you're right that the American atheists tended to be quite aggressive, and it's probably because of the aggressive reactions they get. PBR, Kanye's gone very hard on Christian side. I think he's a grifter. I also think he's a little bit unbalanced. But countdown till Kanye declares his own church and tries to go for all the tax-free benefits of that. I honestly think that's going to happen. And he didn't. So Kirk Cameron, banana guy. No, he's been a Christian forever, as far as I know. He's also a complete fucking idiot. Like, Kirk Cameron is the type of person who should embarrass any vaguely decent Christian, because he says things that are A, phenomenally stupid, and B, absolutely gross and actually completely against the Bible. Like, he's such a materialist. Like, the New Testament is quite clear. Jesus would kick the shit out of Kirk Cameron. Jesus would revile Kirk Cameron and tell him he's going straight to hell. It's not even close. Like, Kirk Cameron's worship of possessions, he straight to hell, absolutely straight to hell. And when I say stupid, like Nintendo Lunchbox talks about being the banana guy. One argument he made, proof God exists, and I'm not even exaggerating how stupid he is. He's in conversation with this guy, and his argument, something that proves God exists, is bananas are curved and fit really nicely into a human hand. And it's like, that's it. God made them to fit into human hands. Proof God exists. So there's just the outright stupidity of that, let's call it an argument, just on its surface. Even if but bananas as we know them, the big curved bananas, they were artificially bred by humans over a period of time. The plantains that they come from aren't that long and curved. It was selective breeding, genetic, non-lab genetic engineering by humans that created the curved bananas. They didn't spontaneously come into existence thanks to God to fit into our hand. They're the results of selective breeding by humans. It's ridiculous. Biz Foxification, I shared Barnaby's video on Tuesday's live stream. For anyone who hasn't seen it, it's spectacular. Barney seems to be a bit under the weather, as we say, as in he's maybe imbibed a little, and it's not good. and really, really not good. And he's stupid. Justin, can you even find wild bananas? Probably. I think bananas come from plantains, which kind of look like little straight bananas. And I'm possibly getting that wrong. And someone who's, a big plantain enthusiast might be telling me how stupid I am. And I'd be prepared to accept that. I can't do Kirk Cameron Safe Christmas. I saw a video on YouTube just the other day, came up and suggested things. This woman reviewing those gross Kirk Cameron movies. And it's the Save Christmas one. That's outrageous. Like, he's got a brother-in-law who's too dopey with his weird idea that Christianity should reject materialism. Materialism is gross and nothing to do with the teachings of Jesus. And Kirk Cameron shows how wrong he is and how gross commercialism is actually the best sort of Christianity. It's like, dude, what the fuck? And again, Kirk Cameron is either just profoundly stupid, which is possible. Like, the banana argument points to he's maybe just very, very stupid. Or he is among those of the most cynical, evil evangelical types who know everything they're saying is absolute bullshit, and they're just pulling this massive grift, and they don't worry about, afterlife punishment, eternal damnation, because they know it's not real. They're just being absolutely horrible and exploiting people who think it is real. Neither's good. Either he's just a vile, terrible, objectionable excuse of a human. He's just awful. But I guess I feel like it would be slightly less if he's just so stupid that he thinks what he's saying makes sense and is consistent with the message of Christianity. I think it's more likely that he knows what he's doing is sick and vile and a massive grift. I think that's by far the most likely. It's really gross. God, Jackson Galaxy was that. I don't know who Jackson Galaxy is, so. PBR, the TV evangelist. To the extent that one of the new wave TV evangelists is actually taken the name Creflo Dollar, and he uses church money to buy jets and shit. It's like, fuck me. I don't know how these people stay out of prison. America is a failed state. It's just terrible, terrible, awful things are allowed to happen. Oh, Dottie, you reckon bananas are going to go on the way out? The seeds aren't viable, so they're all clones. So it's a matter of time before the Cavendish goes the way of the Gros Michel. Who knows? Maybe people will do something else. Like I said, what we see as bananas, the product of human engineering of naturally occurring fruits. I think there are fruit. We get that ridiculous argument about which things are fruits and which are vegetables and which are berries. It seems like a pointless argument to me, but see, Kaiju, you gave me an explanation, and I'm none the wiser. You said Jackson Galaxy is My Cat from Hell guy, musician by day, cat therapist by day. Oh, wait, no. He's got like a reality TV show where he's a cat therapist. I've heard of him. I've never watched it. But the world's isn't Ja Rule in one of Kirk Cameron's movies? Very, very, very strange. Yes, and in a decent world, these people would all be in prison because of their grossly evil grifts. They are sick, awful people preying on vulnerable people They are the absolute worst. I have nothing but contempt for these people. Yes, Miss Fox, you've raised a point. Companies like Monsanto, they come up with their variant GMO bananas and then charge a premium. But I mean, one of the reasons bananas are popular is they're when they're in season, they're comparatively cheap. So yeah, if they made them expensive, they'd just be less popular and people would stop eating them. But who knows? I don't know. That's a bit vague there. I see, Daddy. There's no botanical definition of a vegetable. Most things we call veggies are either fruit or tubers. Yes, but we're weird like that, the way we classify things. Like one funny bit of trivia I heard, the scientist, oh man, he's dead now. He's one of the many who had a Simpsons appearance. I feel like he's got one of those triple barrel names. Stephen Jay Gould, that's who I'm thinking of. Stephen Jay Gould is a reasonably well-known biologist, I think it was. Science. He was in the biological sciences. And he did a very big study of marine life, among other things. And he said, he's reputed to have said that his key takeaway from his study of marine life is there's no such thing as a fish. He said, we've come up with this generic term fish, and we apply it to creatures that are so genetically different from one another, that are so physically different from one another, that there's like no relationship between them at all, apart from the fact they're in water. And he just said, fish is an absolutely useless, meaningless term. But it is a funny thing to say, a biological scientist saying there's no such thing as a fish. And you go, actually, Stephen, I think you'll find there is. I'll point some out to you. There are fish. But I think saying it that way, there's no such thing as a fish, that's like an attention-grabbing thing, and not so much to be taken absolutely literal, as in there's nothing in the sea. The things you call fish are figments of your imagination. That isn't what he's saying. But he's saying fish is an absolutely useless classifier, which is fun when you realize that something that you've just taken for granted, that when you really look at it, doesn't make any sense. And I think we humans are very good at suspending our disbelief, like seeing, just being able to not worry that the classifier of fish is all but meaningless. We're just like, no, I'm cool. I know what I mean when I say fish, and not worry too much that it doesn't mean anything. Which, is a very weird thing that we're capable of doing, just holding quite conflicting thoughts in our head. People in New Zealand is there's such a thing as a fush and chops, which they don't really say, but they say it a bit like that. That's a fun little trivia fact, Kaiju. Orcas, aka killer whales, are more closely related to cows than cows are to horses. It's also kind of like when someone thinks you're just being pedantic when you say spiders aren't insects, they're arachnids. and people go, the same thing. It's go, well, spiders are more closely related to crabs than they are to insects. But, we just regard them as bugs, basically. Because that's how we classify them in our heads. But yeah, that's why some spiders, the big tarantulas and whatnot, are good eating. They're related to crabs, which are good eating. I've seen that one too in the Nintendo Lunchbox. There's a larger time gap between now and the TV show, That 70s Show, than the gap from when that show went to air in the 70s. Nostalgia. Nostalgia is a wonderful thing. I'm going to look up weird facts about time. Okay. This is not what I was thinking. 40 interesting time facts. Lightning strikes Earth 6,000 times every minute. Using headphones for an hour will increase the bacteria in your air by 700 times. That's a good one for germphobes. Actually, I think I saw another link to exactly the thing I was thinking about. It's one of those BuzzFeed listicles. Oh, okay. That's just a dumb one. Time passes faster for your face than your feet, assuming you're standing up. And that's Einstein's theory of relativity about gravity. Gravity affects time, which is wild because if you ever want to do your head in, look at some of the cutting edge science stuff, because I think there's a limit to what we can comprehend. We experience time in a linear fashion. We think time is a thing that moves uniformly, and you get these advanced fields of science that go, time is not constant. Time is affected by gravity. And it's like, how? And it's just weird. It's just very, very, very weird. No, this also isn't really what I was thinking of it. But yeah, okay. Here's one of the things. There's no such thing as now as far as physics is concerned. Space and time are fluid, affected by gravity and your speed. Einstein put it like this. For us physicists, the distinction between past, present, and future is only an illusion, however persistent. And this also sort of ties into that philosophical theory of predetermination, that there's no such thing as free will, that everything we do was always going to happen, and it was predetermined by the uncountable billions of things that happened before this moment. Like, it's completely out of our control, which is a really disturbing thing to think about, quite honestly. The thing I'm trying to think, the facts I was trying to think of is the thing. Dottie, you had an entomologist tell you that bugs are their own thing and not all insects are bugs. But it's just, again, we fall into controversial territory again. This is where it's bizarre to me, although again, not that surprising, where you get transphobic people who don't understand transgender issues and declare that it's not a thing, that it's a mental illness. There's men and there's women. You're governed by this. And it's good because I learned that at school. There's men and there's women. There's this chromosome and this chromosome. And it's like, dude, you like, something was dumbed down for you at one point, and you're refusing to think past this concept that was dumbed down for you when you were a kid. when you talk to scientists, geneticists, social scientists, historians, they go, no, the idea that you think there's physically just two sexes and there's only two chromosomal variations, men are one thing and women are the other. That simply isn't true from a purely biological point of view. And it's definitely not true from a social point of view. This binary distinction, male-female, is not and never has been universal. And been interpreted, gender and gender roles have been interpreted in heaps of different ways over history. And when you get really dumb people like Ben, what's his name? And that guy is thick as shit. Like he just consistently says embarrassingly stupid things, like cringe at how stupid the things he says are. And like he does this whole thing about, no, we know, men and women. And the other thing is, why does he talk so fast? I don't know. So these people who think if they talk fast and barrage a bunch of words at you, they automatically win the argument. It's so strange. And he gets this thing where he's fixated with the answer that proves he's right is the chromosomal thing. Is no, we know that. Men are XX, we're XY, XY. And like I said, besides the fact that isn't biologically true, but he's saying that's how we determine who's male and who's female. And I go, no, it isn't, dude, because we can't see someone's chromosomes. We simply can't. And if someone presents female, presents male, it's just like, what the fuck? It's like, dude, you can't see their chromosomes. That argument is so embarrassingly stupid. Like it doesn't hold up to even the mildest scrutiny. And yet he's so convinced that he's clever. Timothy Hatton, how are you doing? I did not get any new Switch games. I have not even played the Switch for a very long time. Been playing some games on my computer and some games on the PS4. We had a Switch in the house, and my daughter commandeered it, mainly because she bought it, and she plays a lot of online stuff in her room. And it feels weird to me, the idea of going into buying a second Switch for the house. And I don't have that much free time. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff I want to watch on TV that I haven't watched. It's too few hours in the day. Oh, God, okay. Do we want to get into J.K. Rowling? Which is problematic. Yeah, she's come out on the side of the transphobes, though people had been saying it for years that no, I detect a consistent anti-trans tone in her public statements. Justin, what did I get for Christmas? I got love, peace, and goodwill. I'm taking it back for a refund tomorrow. Nintendo Rocks, opinions on the new Star Wars movie. My opinions are it's still too early for spoilers. Got to give it at least a couple weeks before talking about plot points. Look, I enjoyed it. It's a long way from perfect, but then what is? Different people take different things from it. Yeah, I feel a bit sad for the people who are defining themselves by how angry it makes them. It's like it's cool if you like it. It's cool if you don't like it. But if you tie yourself to it, if you tie yourself to how angry it makes you, that's just sad. And some people I really like have been behaving like that. And it's like, okay, calm the fuck down. And again, it's not so much that the points they make are objectively, well, they're subjective. Your views on things are subjective. They're not objective. No one's objective. And particularly in terms of taste with entertainment or art, that is 1,000,000% subjective. You can argue about technical merit, technical skill, but that's not what people are arguing about. They're arguing about story. That is 100% subjective. Justin, you got chocolate. Well, that's okay. I did play I started Wolfenstein: The New Order, and I couldn't get into it. I got both Wolfenstein and Doom at the same time for the PS4, and I loved the old Wolfenstein and I loved the old Doom, and I just couldn't have gotten into them. I just couldn't get into them. And I might try them again at some point, but it was the whole sort of run, shoot, die thing with no story. And I was because I liked Grand Theft Auto, I liked Mafia 3, Yakuza 0. I loved those games. Actually, they were fun. Obviously flawed games, but fun. And this one with no story, it's just Oh, Kaiju, I saw that. Oscar Isaac in interviews saying they absolutely, definitely should have had a romance between him and John Boyega's character, Finn. He actually said the Disney overlords wouldn't let it happen. It's fucking great. Yes. PBR, they are not giving out love, peace, and goodwill at the... I've seen the videos, man. They are not having love, peace, and goodwill on sale at the Boxing Day sales. They are having violence and anger. And I have those things. I don't need to go to a hideously overcrowded shopping mall to get violence and anger. I have those. And hello, Abigail. How are you? Yeah, did anyone else see? I saw a video of one of the DFO outlet malls. The line of traffic of people trying to get there banked up so far, it was going right back onto the highway and blocking the highway. As who would subject themselves to that? My God, I just can't. I mean, I might go out tomorrow. There are some things I want to get, not necessarily sales. Might go together. Oh, that's right. You had wisdom teeth out a week ago. I had wisdom teeth out a couple of years ago. I think I only ever got one at a time out, actually. And only on the bottom. I got them out on the top once and one on the bottom. But because I lost another molar in the middle, they left the wisdom tooth there because it wasn't crowding anything out. The weirdest thing, I went to the local supermarket today just to get a couple things. And it's not a huge supermarket, so it's often quite busy and crowded, and the car park can be a bit frenetic. And I went there on Christmas Eve at about 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and it was a bit fucking fraught. And then I went there today. I didn't know what it would be like, and I think it was the quietest I had ever seen it. There were 3 registers with no one waiting at them. It was wild. So I think everyone was at the was I like that. PBR buses refused to stop at Chadstone. That shows good judgment. Absolutely good judgment. Dottie, you got 3 wisdoms out at once because you're a mutant. Some people even have more than 4, don't they? With most humans, you get 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom that come in late. I think I've heard of cases of people having more than that. Wasn't that the thing with Freddie Mercury? He had extra teeth, and that shaped his mouth differently. That probably contributed to his distinctive voice. That's what everyone says about him, isn't it? I don't know. Justin, you're getting tonsils out and having septum surgery. Do you have trouble breathing? Like your sleep apnea? That sounds like it might be you have some problem with your breathing if they're doing all that. I've still got my tonsils. I have had septum surgery, what they call it, taking my adenoids out when I was a kid, because I had an inner ear infection and they thought it was coming from that. But I don't remember. It happened when I was very little. Oh, Nintendo Lunchbox got 4 at once. Though I always say things in America, they seem to drug you up to just to the eyeballs. Because when I had wisdoms out, like they injected stuff into my gums, so it didn't really hurt getting them out. But I wasn't dopey. I couldn't talk. I couldn't feel my face. But you get those videos in the US, like the famous one from a few years ago, David after the dentist. Particularly young people, kids and teenagers, drugged off their fucking scones by the dentist. That doesn't happen in Australia. Timothy can agree that 90% of humans can get fucked. There are certainly days when I feel that. On an average day, I feel 50%. 50% of humans can fuck right off. Oh, God, Nintendo Lunchbox, you had hardly any drugs. Oh, my God. You had to drive home. Yeah, I don't think I would have wanted to drive after I had it. I sort of walked out of the surgery. I got someone to pick me up. But yeah, because the fucking buzz in my head was quite distracting. But yeah, as driving's definitely indicated for when they do it. But yeah. Okay, it is a breathing thing, Justin. I thought so. I thought it'd be a breathing thing if they're doing all that surgery. Oh, Mr. Fox, question, were you general anesthetic for having 4 hours, saying you gassed full surgery? Because that is a thing that happens in Australia sometimes. If they're doing all 4 wisdoms, they might go for general anesthetic, just knock you right out. The most I had was 2 at a time, and they just injected me. But it's the weirdest feeling when they do an extraction and you can feel the pull and you sort of hear the cracking as it comes loose from your jaw. And even it doesn't really, it hurt a little bit, I suppose. The last extraction I had hurt a little bit, but it just feels wrong. The main thing is it feels wrong. You go like, that doesn't want to come out. That does not want to come out. That really, you're just pulling my whole head. Oh, that cracking noise, that's not good. That cracking noise in my jaw, that's not good. Oh my God, what's happening? Oh my God. And then it's over. And it's like, okay. I've still got one of my wisdom teeth somewhere. I said, can I keep that? And they said, yep, sure. I'm a weirdo. I've got a bunch of baby teeth from my kids. Not all of them, but I have quite a few of their baby teeth in a jar somewhere. Sounds like maracas when I shake it. It's fun. I can clone them, I guess, from that. Don't you think that's nightmare fuel? Because you got put under when you had it done. Yeah, sitting there being conscious when they do it is fucking weird. Yeah, see, Nintendo Lunchbox, it's medical waste. They don't like. I had one tooth that was really, that's the last extraction I had, I think. It was really fucked up. It was a molar. It was really fucked up. And they'd done all this major surgery on it and wrapped it up in stuff and metal on it. I called it my Darth Vader tooth because it was more artificial than tooth by the time they finished with it. And that extended its life by like 10 years. But at one point, the dentist just went, no, it's got an infection under it. It's got to come out. And I really wanted to keep it. And I had said to the dentist, can I keep it? And he said, sure. But he had an assistant there. And I'm sitting there just trying to, just recover from that. Felt really fucked when you were pulling it out. And his assistant did the sensible thing because it's medical waste. She put it in a biohazard thing and put it in their biohazard bin. And after a minute or two, no one gave me the tooth. I went, hey, where's the tooth? And she's gone and threw it out. And I wanted that because it was a weird, fucked up tooth. But I didn't get to keep that one. So sad. Abigail, I'm with you. A good dentist makes all the difference. And I've had this stuff done by good dentists. My childhood dentist was the worst, gave me a phobia about dentists. He was a fucking asshole. He was a fucking piece of shit. I hate him. He's the worst. He gave me just a lifelong phobia of dentists. And it took a lot to get over that. And yeah, good dentists. It's a bit of a palaver. It's a bit, but not the fucking literal torture this shithead put me through when I was a kid. Really, really, really don't like him. Am I making that clear? My childhood dentist was a fucking monster. And when I brought that up with some dentists, when I was saying like, because I ended up having to go to dentist because I hadn't been frozen, my teeth were just fucked. I not only didn't go to the dentist, I didn't look after my teeth very well. And a molar sort of collapsed, start breaking. And so they had to do bloody surgery, cut up my gum to get the pieces out because it was so fucked they couldn't just pull it out. It was breaking apart. So I had this full-on fucking surgery thing in my jaw. And it was fine because they anesthetized me and talked me through it and stuff. And like they gave me the choice at one point. They said, we can try and do a root canal on this and repair it, or we can extract it. And I said, I've just heard horrible things about root canal. I want you to extract it. And then they tried to extract it and it broke apart and that didn't work. So then they had to fucking cut into my gum and dig bits out, blah, blah, blah. But it didn't hurt. It was uncomfortable and it was weird and gross, but it didn't hurt. And she said afterwards, that was so much worse than root canal. She said, you were fine. You were great. You handled that. You said you were scared of dentists and I just did a really horrible thing to you and you were fine. It was so much worse than root canal, what you just went through. And I'm like, oh, okay. And of course, because they actually did surgery on my jaw, there was a recovery thing. There were stitches and all this shit. And there was a recovery thing, which was not great. But yeah, my fucking childhood dentist fucking put me through hell. Hate the guy. Hate him so much. You see, oh my God, Abigail, I love that. You had an old Slavic immigrant dentist. Even if he was smoking, that wouldn't have looked out of place. Nintendo Lunchbox, he is dead. He is dead. That is my one thing, because he was not a young man when I was a kid, and I'm no longer a young man. And yeah, he's dead. That's my one fucking saving grace, that evil fuck who gave me paranoia about dentists is dead. It's not often I revel in that, but in his case, I do. Yes, good job for a sadist. Or, yeah, PBR, flashbacks to Little Shop of Horrors or Laurence Olivier in Marathon Man. That was fucked up. Both of those were fucked up, actually. Thanks, Timothy. I'm glad you still think I'm sexy. So you got the bloody daddy energy going on. That's the thing these days, isn't it? Gross. Gross, gross, gross. Hey, speaking of sexy, I think I'll make a sexy drink. I have to decide what, though. Could just make something simple, obviously. Which cocktail is the best? God, which website is this? VinePair. The 50 most popular cocktails in the world. Well, what does the world say about cocktails? And I will give you my judgment on it. White Russian, that's a shit drink. Because it's got coffee liqueur in it, and I don't like coffee. A Bellini. Oh, God, that's just fucking peach puree and Prosecco. That's shit. Champagne cocktail has a few variants. Sometimes it's just fucking champagne with sugar in it. Sometimes it has cognac, but that's a shit one. Irish coffee, that's shit. Bamboo. That's a sherry and vermouth. Jesus, that sounds shit. Sherry, vermouth, and bitters. That's not for me. Gin mule. What is that? A gin mule. I see. This doesn't actually have the recipes in it. I'm going to see. The Gin Mule. What is a Gin Mule? Because I don't like the normal mule because it's got ginger beer in it, and ginger beer is shit. Yes, it's got ginger beer in it. That's shit. I'm just very opinionated. Abigail, we're going to do sex on the beach. Something summery, something apple. I'm going to work my way through and find one I don't hate. Ginger Mule is shit. Long Island iced tea. That's okay. I don't really like the tall ones because you top it with cola. A Long Island iced tea is just heaps of booze. These people say vodka, gin, tequila, rum, triple second, cola. A Vespa. That I've had a Vespa, and it's not bad. A Vespa cocktail is like a variant on a martini. And so you do get a few variants on it. But that's gin, vodka, and Lillet Blanc. I have all those things, but I don't feel like that. A Capirana, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong, it's Brazil's national cocktail. I bought some cachaça just so I could make that. Cachaça is like a rum variant. Rum's made from molasses. Cachaça is just made from sugarcane juice. Molasses is the boiled down sugarcane juice. But cachaça is made just from the sugarcane juice. So it's a milder taste. Caipirinha, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong, that's just cachaça, lime, and sugar. That's a bit simple. I don't want to do that. Tom Collins, another boring one as far as I'm concerned. It's just gin, lemon, and soda water. It's just a painkiller. Another tiki one. That's rum, cream of coconut, pineapple juice, and orange juice. Yeah, I mean, I've got a couple. I could do that with a couple. I've got a couple different rums. Do a couple different rums, pineapple, coconut juice, orange juice. I don't know if I want to do that. Bee's Knees. That's gin, lemon, and honey. Ramos Gin Fizz. That's a hard one to make. If you really make a gin fizz, you like need a blender or something to make it froth up. A Bramble's an interesting one. That's kind of like an old-fashioned that has jam in it as well, or maybe a blackcurrant liqueur. I've made it with just jam in it, but a Bramble is basically it's gin and lemon juice, sugar syrup, and a blackberry liqueur. I made it with just like blackberry jam and put extra gin in. Vodka martini, that's a bit boring. A Hanky Panky is one of the silly names. Hanky Panky is a silly named one. So, sorry, it's it's just turned up porn sites when I put Hanky Panky in a search engine. That's a bit weird, isn't it? Hanky Panky is gin and vermouth. Fernet Branca. I have Fernet Branca. That's a really bitter one. It's a good thing for making things a bit different. Musical Aviator, been doing your flight sim stuff. Nice. No, Timothy, I can't do a shot of everything I have because I have 50 different things there. And I couldn't even put a splash of all of them because that would kill me. Jungle Bird, which is another, not that into tiki drinks. This one's got rum, Campari, lime, pineapple juice. Yeah, not really into the ones that have lots of juices in them. I like a bit of lime juice or a bit of lemon juice in it. A White Lady, that's not a bad one. This is basically just gin, Cointreau, lemon juice, and egg white. That's a nice, simple one. I actually don't mind a White Lady. That sounds a bit wrong, doesn't it? A Paloma. What's Paloma? I've gone through 20 of them, and I'm not sort of set on fire by any of them yet. That's a tequila one. Tequila, lime, And grapefruit cider. Yeah, the ones where it's just like add a soda or something. And it's like, no, there's not a proper one. Okay, we get into the first of my favorite. Cosmopolitan, I'm not that into. That's like vodka, triple sec or Cointreau, and cranberry juice, lime juice. Not really into Cosmopolitans. They're okay. Sidecar, though, that's one of my favorites. Really simple one. Brandy, Cointreau, and lemon juice. Really nice. Really simple, really nice. You can do cognac instead of brandy. You can do any of the orange liqueurs, Cointreau, triple sec, whatever. And you can change the juice if you want to mix it up a bit. Yeah, okay. French 75 is another champagne cocktail. I'm not really into champagne cocktails. It's gin and champagne and lemon juice. Vieux Carré. It's a New Orleans one. They get a bit beastly. It's brandy, whiskey, and vermouth and Benedictine. I don't have any Benedictines. I can't make that. The bloody what's the area in New Orleans called? Cajun's not right. God, my brain's not working. What do we call the stuff that's from New Orleans? Nice, Abigail. Oh, that's how you got your monster gaming PC. Your parents sold the house and gave you some money. Nice. Let's see. Vodka and orange. Look, it's fine if you want vodka and orange. I'm not gonna there, but thing. Oh God, Timothy, I think I've heard. Yes, Nintendo Lunchbox. I think Creole is the word I'm looking for. Blood Eagle cocktail. I think I've heard it. You might have even said it on another live stream. I feel like this has come up on another live stream. A Blood Eagle cocktail. What's in there? Aquavit, which I don't have. Sherry, which I don't have. I've got Amaro. It's got Campari. I fucking hate Campari. I'm just not on board with Campari. And it's the main ingredient, one of the most popular cocktails, Negronis. Hate Negronis. But I don't have the ingredients for a Blood Eagle, but it's a pretty fucking serious drink by the looks of it. So working on an aviation. Aviation's not bad. It's a relatively simple. I don't have the creme de violet anymore. I used to have some, but that's like a purple liqueur, creme de violet, a maraschino liqueur, which I have, gin and lemon juice. An aviation is a nice drink. Pina colada, a little bit cliche with the rum and coconut and whatever. An amaretto sour. I like sours generally. Amaretto sour's okay. It's like amaretto and lemon juice and sugar syrup and egg white. Egg white. Not everyone puts egg white in sours, but I think you should because it makes it. Pisco sour. That's a good one. I got some pisco, which is a Peruvian spirit. So I've got Brazil's national spirit, cachaça, and I've got Peru's national spirit, pisco, and I've got. Oh, for those who weren't here on Tuesday night, I got a Mexican liqueur that's chili based, and it's pretty goddamn serious with the chili too. But Pisco Sour Americano is okay. It's not my favorite. See, they put Campari in it, and I hate Campari. I would put another one of the bitter aperitifs, but not Campari because I hate Campari. Gimlet's one of those stupid ones. It's just gin and lime juice and a little bit of sweetener. It's thing. Another Mai Tai, a tiki cocktail. That's usually rum, orange juice, triple sec, and sweeteners. Yeah, it's just all the juice things again. Mind you, I found a tiki bar in the city, which is a fun place. A Boulevardier. It's related to a Negroni. So I already hate it. It says bourbon, Campari, and vermouth. I mean, I'd make it with something apart from Campari. Like, what's God? Why am I forgetting the name of the thing I have here? What's it called? Aperol. It's a milder. It's another red Italian thing, and it's milder than Campari. Clover Club. I've had a Clover Club. It's not bad. Gin, lemon juice, raspberry syrup, and egg white. Is this one? Gin fizz, which is like those other fizzes. It's like gin, lemon juice, and soda. And it's like, no. See, Dark and Stormy, that's ginger beer. Fucking hate ginger beer. Corpse Reviver can be a fun one. There's a lot of variants. In fact, there's like two official ones: the Corpse Reviver number 1 and Corpse Reviver number 2. Number 1's Cognac Calvados, which is a French apple brandy. I don't have any, but I do have Applejack, which is an American apple brandy, and then just brandy and vermouth. Well, Corpse Reviver number 2 is gin, lemon juice, Cointreau, Lillet Blanc, and absinthe. See, maybe I should do. Everyone loves it when I put a dash of everything. Maybe I'll do a Corpse Reviver number 2, actually. What else is in here? A rum old fashioned. Nice, which is just an old fashioned. So that's just rum and a bit of sweetener, basically. Penicillin, which is scotch and lemon juice and honey syrup. A Bloody Mary, bleh, that's obviously, tomato juice and vodka. And you can put the spices away. Mojito, Cuba's drink, which is just white rum and lime juice and sugar. So Sazerac, which I like, which is basically just an old-fashioned, and you put a splash of absinthe. Some people get really fancy. They rinse the glass with absinthe and tip it out. And but it's basically you can make with whiskey or whatever whiskey you like. But in American, it's supposed to be it's another New Orleans one. Should be like a rye or a bourbon whiskey. You do it with whatever you want. And a bit of simple syrup, bitters, and absinthe. Moscow Mule, hate that because it's got ginger beer in it. Aperol Spritz is just boring. That's like Aperol and soda. Margarita, tequila one is like, it's a bit cliche, that's all. Espresso Martini, I hate it because it's got coffee in it. Dry Martini, and Martini is okay. It's just a bit boring. I'm not that into it. Manhattan, which is another old standby. It's okay. It's like rye whiskey or, whiskey and vermouth and bitters. Daiquiri. Why are they saying daiquiri is the 4th best drink? Daiquiri is just boring. It's white rum and lime juice and simple syrup. It's not a bad drink, but number 3, there we get my favorite, the whiskey sour. Some people don't put egg white in it, but I do. But it's like whiskey, whatever whiskey you like. It's often better with a bourbon or rye whiskey as opposed to a scotch. But if you like scotch, use scotch. Lemon juice and sugar or sugar syrup. And I use egg white because then you get the whole thing. Number 2 is a Negroni. Yes, Negroni's really popular. Fucking hate them. They're saying an old-fashioned is the favorite. And if you never heard it, an old-fashioned is nothing but whiskey. Again, most people go for a rye or bourbon, American whiskeys. A sweetener, the sugar cube or fine sugar or a sugar syrup, splash of bitters, and put a big fuck-off bit of ice in it. And it's very simple. A Roy Rogers. Miss Foxification, I like your. Guess what? I've got chocolate stuff. A chocolate cocktail. I've got cherry. I've got cherry liqueur. I will see. Okay, Abigail, if you ever come over to help me with technical stuff, like we were talking, I'll bribe you with a drink or two. It was PBR, a Brooklyn Bomber, tequila, Cointreau, cherry brandy, Galliano, lemon juice. That sounds pretty good, actually. Might do a Corpse Reviver. Although I could come up, Miss Fox, actually, I like your one. I could do my own creation because I do have chocolate stuff. Got creme de cacao. A sweet one. I've got Liquor 43. Choking on a She 61. Waiting to be picked up, going to Boozy Boxing Day. War on Christmas. I took no prisoners. No prisoners in the War on Christmas. Do it Lawrence of Arabia style. No prisoners! No prisoners. Okay, I'm going to make a chocolatey Christmas cocktail. So, what? I know what I'll do. We'll put... Where's the Liquor 43? There it is. Brown creme de cacao. We want those. Aperol. Which one's this? That's the cherry liqueur. The cherry on top. Do I want anything else in there? Probably not, actually. Do I want to put something that's actually like I've got this ridiculous Halloween chocolate. What do you call it? The pumpkin spice. It's really bright orange. If I put that in, the drink's going to be really. I should do it, shouldn't I? Bright orange drink. Although with a brown, maybe I should do white creme de cacao, because it'll be a super gross color if I use the brown creme de cacao. I'm always making jokes about my drinks looking like baby diarrhea. But yeah, and I'm going to do white creme de cacao, not brown creme de cacao. You go back there. Maybe. Oh, I've got a blood orange liqueur. All right. I'm going to be doing half shots of these or I'll be fucked. Oh, I'm almost out of white creme de cacao. Look out. All right. So, don't think I even need to shake this. I'll just stir it. I need to get my glass. Right. So, naming rights are open for this drink too. So we're just inventing this. Big old block of ice. Put one of my custom big old blocks of ice in there. All right. So naming rights are open for this. Choking on a She's 61. You'll never get over me forgetting you so quickly. I'm old and senile. That's my excuse. All right, so I am actually going to put this, which looks like a bloody holy hand grenade. So it goes a really lurid orange color. But, so the naming rights are open. Adele, how you doing? You had wine and cheese afternoon. Well, that's fantastic. And you should have enjoyed that and not worried about being late here. All right, so chocolate liqueur, some white creme de cacao. It's not a very high alcohol one. It's like 20% as to these other ones that are like 40%. Now, because Miss Foxification said something like honey, I'm going with this one, which kind of looks like a urine sample there. Liquor 43. It is a really nice drink. What do they say it is? Secreta Resta Familia. There you go. Okay. Welcome to Liquor 43. The world's most versatile liqueur. Explore the miraculous golden sensation and its wonderful array of serves. Oh, yeah, and they've got a website. They're saying go to the website. So this is a sort of honey liqueur. Oh, you're getting, looks like some rain in Adelaide. Well, that'll be nice because Adelaide's been in the wars. Wait, what percentage alcohol is this? I'm going to be careful. 30%. Okay. I'm just going to do half a shot of this. Okay, some golden liquor 43. I think this is definitely like a Christmas pud type of drink. This is a blood orange liqueur. Like Cointreau is an orange liqueur. This one, called Salerno, is a blood orange liqueur, Italian liqueur. Cointreau make a blood orange variant as well. PBA, I think this should be called an angry bomb. Look, at the moment, the drink looks really elegant and it's a slightly yellowy color. It's about to get a bit lurid as I put in what they claim to be a premium chocolate liqueur. This is the pumpkin spice. This is a very thick, syrupy one. You're raining where you are, not where the fires are. Yeah, I saw Sydney got some rain too. And what creeps me out is the thought that these religious nuts like ScoMo are going to go, it rained because we prayed. And that's the thing. So, okay. There you go. Look how orange my drink is. So it's very much a dessert drink, this one. Orange, chocolate, and honey flavors in here. We need a desserty type name for it. Adele, want enough rain to wash away scummo. It's like the line from Taxi Driver. One day a real rain's going to come and wash all this scum away. Into the lunchbox, you think that's a Baby Yoda glass? It's a tiki mug. It's a cut glass tiki mug. But I can see the Baby Yoda idea. If the bits out here were more like Baby Yoda ears. So we need to come up with a name for it. First, I have to actually see if it's any good. It is not bad. It's obviously very... Oh, no, it's in a... Good cocktail has a few flavors going down. And that actually has a few flavors going down. Maybe should have shaken this more. I don't know. This is going to use by date on it because it's like cream. I probably should have drunk it by now. Maybe I'm going to die. I should drink more of this. Not even that high alcohol, so I could drink a lot of it. I don't see a use by. I'm probably going to die. Probably. It's been in the fridge the whole time. Kept in the fridge because it's like cream-based liqueur. Got to keep the cream-based drinks in the fridge, or they'll go off. You convince yourself you have to drink them all. So, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. I mean, it's a bit sweet. If I was going to experiment a bit more, I might put something bitter in it, like maybe just bitters, in fact. Or bitter aperitif, something like Fernet Branca or something. Although Fernet Branca or Amaro, which are really brown, would then make the color really gross. Oh, yeah, Delzy, if you'd never opened it, you had Cherry Bailey's. It's been in the refrigerator for 3 years. It'll be fine. I like that name, Nintendo Lunchbox. Chocolate Dreamsicle. Maybe, which bitters is this I've got here? Okay. I'm going to see if this appreciably changes the flavor. I have quite a few different sorts of bitters in my repertoire. This is an Australian-made one. There's like... Not sure that's changed the flavor much. Ooh, Dottie, you want pineapple cordial? That's an interesting idea. If I wanted a sting in its tail, I'd put the Ancho Reyes, the chili cocktail, and I did make a drink with that on Tuesday night, and I used up the oh god, what's it called? The sort of the egg-based one. It's late. My brain won't work. I can't remember the most basic things. Or maybe it's the drink. I've gone senile. That's the problem. I've gone senile. Oh, Lukey, angry killed your guts. Oh my god. But I did make a drink with like a creamy based liqueur and the chili liqueur, and that worked quite well actually. So worth looking at. Dottie, you want a good pineapple cordial? If you can find a good cocktail supply shop, like not sure what city you live in, because in Melbourne, I would recommend people go to the Bitters Lab. Love their shop. They're in Fitzroy. And they have a website, onlybitters.com. Is there Angry Studio? So yeah, there's a spare room that I shoot pre-recorded videos in. So yeah, Justin, you got a flight to Melbourne tomorrow morning. How early you got to get up? How long would it take to run out of cocktail names, Abigail? mathematically fair. Well, considering you can just make shit up. Luke, you had a job interview. Excellent. I have faith. I'm sending all the positive to you. Yes, I just started a new job last week, which is a little bit weird to start a job just the week before Christmas. But I did that. I started a job the week before Christmas. I worked right up to New Year's Eve. Now I'm taking some time off. I'll probably go back next week. I know like my immediate boss isn't coming back till the 6th of January, but I've got a couple of things I can do. So depends how I feel on Monday, I guess. I might go because, of course, Wednesday's New Year's Day. So it all comes because I'm a contractor, so I don't get paid if I don't go in. So that's quite the motivator for going in. So I'll probably go in on Monday. So maybe go in on Monday and Tuesday. Maybe hang out here on New Year's Eve. Really, going out on New Year's Eve is really overrated for me. Mrs. Angry and I just want to hang out. So probably do that. And and then there's New Year's Day, which obviously is a holiday. And I don't know if I'll go in on the Thursday and Friday. Depends how I feel. Like I said, I might want to get paid, so I might go in. Yeah. God, 5:30 a.m., Justin. Shit. Okay, early flight. Good luck with that. Good luck. Also, Dottie, you're in Melbourne. Okay, the Bitters Lab in Fitzroy. That's where this tiki mug comes from. That's where the bitters come from. I often they have hundreds of different sorts of bitters, but they also have cordials and mixes, and they have some fruity based ones. I think they might have one. A New Year's live stream is very likely, Justin. I might be able to talk a few people into coming over for it. Who knows? So it might not be just me. I might have guests. But, people want to go off and do stuff. And I want to have a relatively quiet time, like stay at home and make a couple cocktails. And if I have people over, I'll make a couple cocktails for other people. So that's cool. But very, very high probability that I will do a live stream on stuff. So I also got, when I was talking about getting my huge ice cubes, I got my huge ice cube tray from the Bitters Lab, and I got my sphere ice cube maker from Bitters Lab as well. Justin, I've not played trumped up cards with a big group. I've messed around with it with AIDSy. Trumped up cards is like a version of Cards Against Humanity that Justin sent me that's based on Donald Trump. I'll do a random sampling of it now. I'll pull out some cards and we'll see, which one suits best. So, okay, this one is the Trump Gitmo Revamp, fantastic waterboarding grotto, beautiful cultural humiliation lounge, and if I had randomly handed out, which one of these would be the best? The Sneeze Guard at Chipotle's doesn't make sense. Troops on the Ground is a potential one. Really, really rich breath. I don't think that works. Opening up our treason laws doesn't make sense. Ooh, hot tub filled with hand sanitizer. That works. Promoting Bristol Palin to Statue of Liberty is funny. Velour wet wipes. Okay. They don't necessarily work on this one. Oh, trumped up cards. Okay. I'm going to find another couple that might have worked for this because, of course, if there's multiple people playing, they have multiple cards. Business-related themes from Nancy Pelosi. Pizza Rat. Undocumented taco bowls. Oh, that's a floor-to-ceiling scrotum. Medical marijuana. Immigrant Oreos. Flying Muslims. Okay, you have to imagine there was like 4 people playing. This is what they hang out. They fill in the blanks on Trump Gitmo Revamp, fantastic waterboarding grotto, beautiful cultural humiliation lounge, and flying Muslims. Or floor-to-ceiling scrotum, or a hot tub filled with hand sanitizer, or troops on the ground. Oh, I know what my favorite in those ones is. My first one, where's my cat? We gave her a flea treatment today and she's not talking to me. PBR, you're not going out on New Year's Eve. Is that just because you've had enough, or are you working, or what is it? Adele, you like the first one, flying Muslims? Yes. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll get people over. If there are people over on New Year's Eve, that might be an opportunity to play trumped up cards, which was an awesome thing that Justin sent. And it's in this, because it's Donald Trump and it's classy, it's in this beautiful gold box. Look how shiny it is. It'll blind you. There's a screen reflected back. Yes, I'm not social enough to have played it with anyone on a large scale yet, but it's definitely coming. Yeah, who knows? Maybe New Year's Eve. Who knows? Well, okay. That one worked okay, and I did see a name for that one. Chocolate Dreamsicle was a pretty good name Nintendo Lunchbox came up with. PPR said an angry bomb. No, I think if it's going to be a bomb, you have to drop something in it. So maybe, yeah, because it was that bright orange color, a chocolate dreamsicle is a pretty good name for it. You're going to Sydney for New Year's Day. Oh, yeah, if you're flying on New Year's Day, you don't want to be up to too much on New Year's Eve, yes. Adele, you're going to spend New Year tidying up the house and sleeping. That sounds sensible. PBR, you're with me, old bastard. Want to have a quiet night? Yep. Now, I'm not a fan of the... I mean, having said that, there's a couple venues I like in the city that are having events, and I kind of thought, no, if I was into going out, I could probably tolerate being here and whatnot. But it was... Yeah, then I just think of the crowds, and I'm like, oh, no thank you. Corpse Reviver. Which Corpse Reviver did I say I was going to make? A number 2? I don't remember if it's the number 2 or number 1. Number 2 is Gin, Triple Sec, Lillet Blanc, and Absinthe. I think what the number 1 was. I think I said number 2 because of the absinthe, didn't I? Corpse Reviver number 1. Number 1 is Cognac and Calvados. No, it's definitely number 2 I'm going to do. Number 2. Corpse Reviver number 2. Gin and Triple Sec. I'm going to use Cointreau, Lillet Blanc, which I have lemon juice, which I have a little bit of sugar syrup, and absinthe. Those who find the classic equal parts Corpse Reviver number 2 too sour should try Gin, Triple Sec, Lillet Blanc, and slightly less lemon juice. Okay. That's a tiny variation. I'm not sure how different that would take. Dottie, you're working New Year's Eve. That's okay. All right, I'm going to rinse this glass because it's got like this orange residue on it. And I'm going to make a Corpse Reviver. We've still got 20 minutes. That's enough time to make a drink. All right, I'm just going to rinse this glass. This is a bit clean. You can still hear me. The rinsing's not really working either. Oh well. C'est lavé, as the French say. Not that we want to pay too much attention to the French. Ooh, I gotta rinse my little jigger because he's full of the orange stuff too. Yeah. All right, so consulting the website. So they are saying gin, Cointreau, Lillet Blanc, and lemon juice. Okay, that's easy. I just gotta get here's my lemon juice. Squeezed. I'll use this one. Lemon juice. Cointreau. Oh, I've got a flavored gin I made. I don't remember which one it is. Is it this one? There's the tag. Yeah, okay. It's orange melon gin. I flavored it with some rock candy. So gin, Cointreau, Lillet Blanc is just here. Okay. Oh. Okay. So, Ooh, what am I doing? Here we are. We're back. Okay. Oh, that's an interesting point, Miss Foxification. The difference in sourness of citrus is more pronounced in colder months. Good point. People think I should call it angry sweet revenge. I love that. Just the connotations of that one I like. I don't know who was here on Tuesday night and who wasn't, but I made a drink with the Mexican chili liqueur and a few other things, and it was good. It was really good. And I said, "Oh my god, the chili kind of sneaks up on you. It's still there. Like the other ingredients calmed the chili down a bit because I drank some of the chili stuff straight, and it's really serious. It's really serious chili. And I mixed it with this other stuff, and that calmed it down a bit. I went, ooh, the chili still sneaks up on you. I'm trying to come up with a name for this drink. And because I said the chili sneaks up on you, Aidsy says, well, we should call that drink the Sneaky Mexican, to which you may be surprised to hear I said no. It was terrifying how apt that name seemed, using a Mexican liqueur that snuck up on you a bit. But yeah, calling a drink the Sneaky Mexican, a little bit on the nose. So Aidsy was a bit crestfallen that I overruled him on that name. But yeah, no, just I informed him he would be cancelled for bringing that up. Nintendo Lunchbox, call it Build the Wall. Yeah, Build the Wall or the chili's coming to get you. Justin, is Melbourne getting smoke from the fires? Yes. Not bad like Sydney or Canberra or the places surrounded by fire, but we are getting noticeable smoke haze and you can smell the smoke. It's not great. Miss Foxification. Trump's Nightmare is another good name for it. Yes. No, Dottie, we don't call, no. The Irish Car Bomb is a fucked and shitty and insulting name for a drink. And if you go to an Irish pub like on St. Patrick's Day and ask for an Irish Car Bomb, you deserve to get punched in the mouth. Don't order a black and tan either. Don't go on St. Patrick's Day and order an Irish Car Bomb or a black and tan, because they're both really fucking insulting to Irish Catholics and Catholic nationalists. Irish Catholic and Irish nationalists. Yeah, they're not a little bit insulting. They're really fucking insulting. Don't do it. Yes. So, Corpse Reviver number 2. Mofo-san, I've made the Brexit. I've made the Brexit a couple times, and for no one has ever seen me make the Brexit because I have spirits of many nationalities. What I declared to be the Brexit, well, it had gin to represent England, Irish whiskey, because the Irish border question is a very big issue. Then it had a couple of European drinks in it to represent Europe. I put French cognac because the French have been so prominent in the talks. And I put a bitter Italian liqueur in, and I have a few different ones, so I sometimes mix it up which one I put in. But I like putting Fernet Branca in as a bitter Italian. First, because Italy's in the EU, and also just because of the bitterness that surrounds the whole Brexit talk. And then, just for a laugh, I put a bit of my absinthe in, which is Spanish, which is also part of the EU, and that actually tastes pretty good. I put lemon juice and sugar syrup in it as well. I like me a corpse. Oh, that is actually pretty good. Oh, that is pretty good. I like it. Yes, Nintendo Lunchbox. I did see the European leaders laughing at, and Justin Trudeau. It wasn't just the it was the NATO leaders laughing at what a fucking gimp Trump is. It's hilarious. He's pathetic. He's such a joke. Oh my God, Dottie, you had grandparents. Nan was Irish Protestant, and your pop was Irish Catholic. That's immortalized in a song by the Irish Rovers, and a hilarious song that I heard like growing up. The orange and the green. The orange is the Protestant color, and the green's the Catholic color. The orange is the color of the loyalists, the people who thought Ireland should be part of England, and the green is the Irish nationalists who think Ireland should be an independent nation. And it was the chorus going in the Irish Rovers with a jiggity jigger. It is the biggest mix-up that you have ever seen. Me father, he was orange, and me mother, she was green. Or maybe the mother was orange and me father was green. One of them's orange, one of them's green. And the line I always remembered is the scene is at a wedding or at Christmas or something. And so both sides of the family are there, and it starts off sort of calm and under control, but then a fight starts, and it's on for young and old, and they've sort of broken into the two sides and are fighting. But the line that I always remember that cracks me up is he says, "Me being strictly neutral, I bashed everyone in sight." And that is such an Irish thing. I just think is beautiful. My mum's side is dominated by Irish Catholic, and my dad's side is Scottish. So there's no Protestants that I know of in my immediate background. But yes, that's what I grew up with. Oh yeah, misfoxification. Yeah, the Troubles, like well into the 90s, but particularly in the 70s and 80s, the bombings that were a part of the conflict between England and Ireland, making light of them, not good, honestly. Although again, in my mind, another beautifully Irish thing, a civil war that essentially lasted 100 years, went hot and cold at different times. There's a civil war that have essentially lasted 100 years, killed just a terrible amount of people. It's known as the Troubles. I was like, okay, yeah, that's an adequate name. That covers it. The Troubles. It was just, wild. Man, I'm just tasting this game. Why is it so long since I made a Corpse Reviver? It's just a really nice drink. Ah, dear. I got to say, everyone says I should have a cocktail channel on YouTube and maybe Instagram and whatnot. I think I'm going to in the New Year's. It would be easier if I had someone to do it with. It's very hard to get motivated to do it on my own. But maybe I'll take like a little break over Christmas, New Year's, and put some stuff together. My first one, what's my plan for my podcast? To take over the world. Is that what you meant? Ah, that's so cute. Oh, Dottie, that is just such a cute story. Your pop kept turning up to their farm with a handful of flowers, weeds he'd picked up along the road, until your nan's dad eventually gave up. And that is such a cute story. I love that. That is a beautiful story. Yeah, Nintendo Lunchbox. It's like giving an American a drinker called the 911, which I now want to make, but you know. Jesus, I'm the worst person in the world. I'm terrible. I literally just thought, what would a 911 be? It would be a Manhattan that you set on fire. I'm the worst person in the world. I'm blaming it on the Corpse Reviver. Huh. A joint podcast with Juice Media. I don't know who Juice Media is. Very hard for me to do a joint podcast with people I don't know. So yeah, kids, if you want to whip up a frenzy that Angry Aussie should be cancelled, it's yes, it's because he said a 9/11 cocktail should be a Manhattan that you set on fire. That's terrible. Abigail. Yeah, see, an orange drink, I can make many a Trump themed drink with this because it's bright orange. Yes, make an orange one and call it a white supremacist. And it being Trump, it would have to be really bland as well, because he's just so bland. So AIDSy is getting cancelled for wanting to call a drink the Sneaky Mexican, and I'm getting cancelled for saying a 9/11 cocktail is a Manhattan you set on fire. It's terrible. Oh yeah, Adele, I would not be surprised if someone had done it before. Hey, Big Pat, how you doing, buddy? Now I'm going to look for it. 9/11 cocktail. Oh, okay. Someone's got one called the Twin Towers. Oh, and Reddit, of course, has a thread on 9/11. God, that's gonna be terrible, isn't it? Oh, okay. Here's someone who is so much worse than me. I personally now feel better. Yeah, Kaiju, I'm joking. That whole thing about cancel, it's not a real thing. I'm 100% with you. When people go, oh, cancel culture, there's no such thing as cancel culture. In fact, most of the time when people say, you know, such and such is cancelled, just mean that person's done something so reprehensible, you shouldn't support anything they do from now on. And it's not a thing. It makes me so angry. So I'm just joking, obviously. But, okay, here's someone on Reddit who went way further than me. You want to be drinking on 9/11, you take a Manhattan, which is a nice drink, whiskey and vermouth and bitters, and triple sec or Cointreau. Now, here's a cocktail that I hadn't heard of called a Flaming Tower, which is Sambuca, orange juice, grenadine, and peach syrup. So they say, of course, you have 2 Flaming Towers, and then you hit them with 2 Kamikazes, which is vodka lime juice. Yep, he's going to hell. And then someone responded to that saying, someone told me for a 9/11 drink, just a Manhattan and 2 Kamikazes. That's less complicated. I think mine's even less complicated. It's a Manhattan you set on fire. You'd have to use high proof whiskey in it. to set it on fire, or maybe float something on top that burns easily. Oh dear. And here's another one, courtesy of Reddit. I'm over 18. Okay. The 9/11 cocktail. Oh my God. The person deleted it. Oh, someone actually responded and said it was a repost anyway. Okay. Well, Google let us down there. But Reddit generally has got stuff. What's a drink order that pisses you off? But no, I still think mine is just on board. Just set a Manhattan on fire. Adele, you want to try that drink combo? I'd never heard of the drink called a Flaming Tower, which is it's just Sambuca and orange juice. And Sambuca, I think, is a fairly flammable one, but if you add orange juice, it's not going to catch on fire. A Manhattan, you could maybe set on fire if you floated if it was a reasonably high proof rye whiskey and you floated it on top. And a kamikaze, which is apparently just vodka and lime juice, which I didn't know. I'm going to see if that's what everyone says it is. Kamikaze cocktail. How to make a kamikaze cocktail. So it's vodka and Cointreau and lime juice. That'd be mildly more interesting than just vodka and lime juice. But there you go. I like mine. The 9/11 is just a Manhattan you set on fire. Going to hell. That's okay. That's okay. I always knew I was going to hell. With the handbrake off. All right. On that little discussion of extremely poor taste, I think I'll go to bed. Oh, I can't believe I said that. Okay. Yes, I now feel like he's going to, come up with a bad taste cocktail of the live stream. Like the kamikaze with the truth. Yeah, that's the thing. Vodka, Cointreau, lime juice, and put a twist of lime or lemon in there. That would be really good. Catherine, I was just about to go to bed. It's already 10 o'clock. I did run long on Tuesday, Christmas Eve, but I think I'll just go to bed now. Yeah, Nintendo Lunchbox, I blame you too, actually. I blame you wholeheartedly. Oh dear. Yes. Have to have a bad taste cocktail of the week each time now. I really don't want to keep it. That's terrible. That's terrible. I should be ashamed. More terrible cocktail names 2020. God, I should get my friend fucking Sean Bedlam. Don't any old school YouTubers remember him, but he is super into bad taste aggressiveness against people he doesn't like. So I think if I started him off by talking about a 9/11 cocktail, I think he would carry it way, way, way further. That'd be something to behold. Anyway, you wonderful people, take care. Look after yourselves. If you're taking a break, be safe. If you're working in this weird time, hopefully you're looking after yourself as well. And I'm almost definitely putting a video up tomorrow. Don't know what'll happen, whether I'll do anything over the weekend, maybe live stream, but very high probability I'll live stream on New Year's Eve. I don't know if I'll go all the way to midnight. We will see what happens. Take after yourself. Is that kaiju? A Bulgarian chain. Mugs of rakia with shots of whiskey for every mug. You proceed till you're half blind. If you're doing rakia with whiskey, you're going to be blind pretty goddamn quickly. All right. Yes, thanks, Miss Foxication, telling everyone to thumbs up. If I don't see you before New Year's, have a good New Year's. I hope 2020 brings good things to you because, yeah, it's life's not great all the time. We've had some tough times, I think. Hopefully we have good times going forward. But whatever, look after yourself. You're all awesome. Thank you for hanging out tonight. Looking forward to see you soon. But I will say bye.